Hello YouTube, you're watching MidnightGamer, and today I'm going to answer a question that I was very curious about when I first started playing SkyForge, and that is how to unlock all of the classes, because there's actually 13 classes in the game, but you'll notice when you first load in the game that you only have a choice of 3, and that's because the rest of them need to be unlocked by playing the game. And also, by doing this, you can unlock all of the other classes' gear to wear in your style room. For example, the archer's costume, the monk's costume, and you can wear that on any class once you've unlocked it. So, if you open up the Ascension Atlas, which by default is to press K, you'll probably have seen this before by now. You start way over here, and sort of like a talent system, I guess. You work your way up, unlocking upgraded stats, and you get to a certain point and you also get to start choosing talents. So what you need to do is play the game until you get to this point where you unlock your path's main node, which for me is the path of the paladin. I mean, as you can see, I'm just over 1,000 prestige and I'm a little bit ahead of this, so it's not too late in the game, but it's not too early either. You need to actually play the class for a while before you can get to this point. When you do get to this point, what you can start doing then, well, there's two things. You unlock the main Ascension Atlas, which we'll go to in a second, and you can also train other classes, which gives you a chance to test out all of the classes, which I really advise doing, because the way that you unlock these classes requires you to put a lot of different currencies and points into them, and you don't want to waste these points, so it's best to know what class you're aiming for beforehand. So when you get to that point, if you come over to the transport system, you can go to the research center, and you'll recognise this place because you have been there before. This is the place where you originally chose your class. So at the research centre, you want to go straight ahead, and like I said, you might remember the way here, but if not, up to the left or the right into one of these pods, and that'll take you down into the training room. Now in the training room, you can see all of the classes. This is all 13 of the classes currently in the game, and just by walking up to any of them and pressing space, you can start a training session with that class. And when you complete the training session, you unlock that class's clothing items as a vanity item that can be worn on any other class, which I thought was pretty cool. So yeah, do play through any class that you might be considering, because like I said, you don't want to waste the points working towards a class to then change your mind later. You should put a lot of thought into it if you want it to happen very quickly. Once you have decided what class, if you open your class's atlas again, you've now, once reaching this point, you've now got your main Ascension Atlas. So if you click on that, you can see, zoom out, this is where your class starts. Various other classes start either side of you, and it's a pretty long way to get there, but it's the only way to get there. If you locate another class, the class that you want to be, you need to work towards these nodes to unlock that class. Some of them are further and more expensive than others, such as the gunner. So if you find the class that you want and right click on that class and find a path, it's going to give you a blue line from the current node that you're at to the class that you've chosen, and that is the fastest way. So if you follow that as you unlock, you'll eventually get to that class and unlock that class. It's not as easy as most of us would have liked it to be, but that's how it's done, unfortunately. So what you need to do now is just keep playing through the game, and try not to waste, I mean, the main point that you're going to use is these sparks of justice. That's what you're going to use in here, or sparks. The sparks have different names depending on the class that you're in. For the paladin, it's sparks of justice. So you want to try and use all of those in here. One thing I'll advise is not to waste your sparks of evolution, because these can actually unlock any nodes in any class atlas. If you really want to play another class, it's best to save those until you unlock that class, because what you can do is use all of the sparks that you have left over to, you know, get a jump start in that class's ascension tree once it's unlocked. So yeah, I think that's pretty much it. Like I said, play the classes first, find out what you want, head towards that class. Not a massive deal if you need to change later, but if it's in the opposite direction, you are going to have wasted a lot of, you know, a lot of points, a lot of currencies getting to the point where you're at right now. I can imagine it's going to take a long time if anybody wants to unlock more than one class, but at least now you know how to do it. So thanks for watching, please do subscribe, and I hope you enjoy the game.